Okay, good morning class. So, today we will continue our lesson in subtopic 7.2 that is about combustion. So, before we learn about combustion, let's watch this video to know the definition of combustion.
Combustion. Let us learn about combustion. The process of burning of a substance with the release of heat and light in the presence of oxygen is called combustion.
Okay, that is the definition of combustion. So, this slide will present to you about the three conditions that is needed for combustion. That is oxygen, heat, and fuel. By removing one of the conditions needed, we can prevent combustion. So, if we remove oxygen, the fire will not occur. If we remove heat or if we absorb heat, so combustion also cannot be occur. If we remove fuel, also the combustion cannot be occur. Basically, we need these three conditions to do combustion. Remember, oxygen, heat, and fuel. Okay, for this slide will present to you that fuel is needed for combustion. Glass rod and stone will not burn, while wood and candle will burn, because candle and wood is the type of fuel or the example of fuel. It is can burn. Okay, for this slide, this simple activity proves that air or oxygen is needed for combustion. You can see from the video to know
Step
about
1.
this activity.
Place 2 candles on the table. Light both the candles. Step 2. Place an inverted glass over one candle. Step 3. The flame of the candle flickers, produces smoke, and gets extinguished. Step 4. The candle burns only as long as the oxygen is present in the inverted glass. Step 5. The uncovered candle continues to burn.
Okay, for this slide, prove that heat is needed for combustion. If you wet the filter paper with water, so it is hard to burn. But if the paper is dry, the filter paper will easily to burn. In the presence of water, the ignition temperature of paper is not reached, so very difficult to burn it because there is no heat. Remember, heat is needed for combustion. The three conditions must be applied. Why do we use water to extinguish fire? Can you answer this question? Yes, because water is exceptionally good at absorbing heat. Remember, the slide before tell us about the three conditions that is needed for combustion. We must have heat, oxygen, and fuel. So, if you put in water in the fire, then the fire will cooling down the water will cooling down the fire. Okay, this slide we learn about fire extinguisher. Fire extinguisher is the protective tool that is used to put out a fire or handle a small fire. Normally, we have 4 types of fire extinguisher. The substance used in a fire extinguisher differs based on the type of materials on fire. So, let's learn about these 4 types of fire extinguisher, that is water, powder, foam, and carbon dioxide. You can refer from your science textbooks. In page 206, you can refer in the table 7.1 types of fire extinguisher for different sources of fire. Okay, let's learn for the fire extinguisher that can put out the fire that is caused by solid. For example, wood, cloth, and paper. So, we use fire extinguisher from type water and powder to put out the fire that is caused by this material. As you can see from the video, the paper is burned. Then we can put out the fire by using water, because the water will remove heat. Okay, for the next slide, we will learn about the type of fire extinguisher that can put out the fire that is from material that is caused by materials liquid. For example, oil, varnish, and paint. Okay, as you can see from the video, the water cannot put out the fire that is caused by oil. Why this is happen? Because there is the difference density between water and petrol. Water is more dense than petrol. Petrol is the example of oil. As you can see from the video, okay, the petrol is easily to burn. Then, if you use water to put out the fire, it is cannot. Why? Because as you can see from the video, the oil is floating on the water. So, the fire cannot be put out. So, for this type of fire, you must use powder, foam, or carbon dioxide. Okay, for the next fire extinguisher is powder, foam, and carbon dioxide used to put off fire that is caused by gas. For example, propane, acetylene, and methane. As you can see from the video, that is the type of fire extinguisher from foam. It is easily to put out the fire that is caused by gas. Okay, for the next slide is how to put out the fire that is caused by metal. We use powder, as you can see from the video. Okay, so that's all about 4 types of fire extinguisher. Okay, basically we have 3 techniques to remove the conditions needed for combustions. That is, technique number 1 is covering. You can see from the video. 2. Now about how to use fire blanket to cut off the contact of fuel with
and know
air.
how to use them confidently. To use a fire blanket, turn off the stove if safe to do so. Pull down the tabs, hold the fire blanket out and shield yourself from the flames with the fire blanket. Look over the blanket and approach the fire, keeping the blanket at arm's length. Gently cover the pan completely with the fire blanket to smother the flame. Then leave the blanket in place for at least 30 minutes.
Okay, so now let we learn about the second technique. Other than covering, So we also use the technique of cooling. Okay, what is cooling? Cooling is the technique that will cool down the surface of burning materials. So normally we remove the heat. We cool down the surface of the burning materials, then the fire can be put out. Okay, let's learn about the third technique, that is reducing amount of burning material. Okay, we can separate or keep away the burning
Out.
materials. You can see from
Now that
the
we've had the
video.
fire burning a while and we want to put it out, we don't want to leave this fire like this because that's a dangerous situation. So how do we control it? Well, with the simple tools that we have, we can take this poker and we can open up the fire like this, and that will help get rid of some of that immediate burning. And you'll see that it starts to die out very quickly with that.
Okay, for this slide, this is about the safety measure to prevent the occurrence of fire. So as you can see from the picture number 1, the mother is keep away the matches and lighters in a safe place so the children cannot play with the matches and make fire happen. So for the second picture, you also must be keep away flammable substances from fire. So you must keep away all the chemical that is easily to burn. You must put it in the safety place. So for the third picture, you can see that is the cigarette butts. They are still burning. Throw to the dustbin. So you must avoid this activity, this habit. You must avoid this habit because this will lead to fire. Okay, for the next picture, you must also avoid this habit because this habit will lead to fire. Please do not plug in too many electrical appliances to a single electrical source, like you can see in this picture. This is very dangerous. This can lead to fire. Okay, for the next picture, we can see that the kettle is near to the stove. Then you can see from the picture the wire is touch the stove. Okay, so please make sure you must be careful while you handle all these materials that can make the fire to be occur. Please keep away all the heat resources or fire resources that will lead to fire. Okay, for the next picture, the last picture, you can see that the socket is not plugged in properly. So please be careful while handling the electrical appliance. So you must plug in the socket properly to avoid fire. So that is all for this subtopic for our lessons for today. So I will make a conclusion. We already learned about the 3 conditions that is needed for combustion, that is fuel, heat, and oxygen. And also we have learned about the 4 types of fire extinguisher, that is water, foam, carbon dioxide, and powder. So after this video, please answer the questions in science workbook in page 103 and 104. Please complete all the question and please submit your task after this lesson. If you have any question, you can ask in our WhatsApp group. Okay, thank you class for your cooperation. Bye.